What's good, guys? Zephyrnix here. And the irrelevant people, you know? So I'm going to give Mr. Irrelevant a one-shot deal. This is actually going to be pretty fun. So, here's the thing. Remember this guy, Louis? This was the guy who was trying to claim, who was trying to make that list. Basically, let me explain to you the list. Now, the story goes like this. MLD decided to make a list of every AA and AAA titles for 2010. So, as usual, when it comes down to the PlayStation fan community, fanboys that is, what they want to do is they want to manipulate situations to kind of work in their favor. So this is what he did. So Louis decided to go ahead and manipulate it. Now what he did was this. He said, well, let's talk about the whole entire lifespan, right? So he opened up the lifespan. So as he realized that, well, wait a minute, the AA and AAA titles are not under, still don't equal up to the Xbox 360. What can I do about that? Then he realized something. He said, well, wait a minute. AA and AAA titles, if I go ahead and add the PlayStation 1 classic games to that list, then it would actually be over, it would be more than the Xbox 360 has. Now, mind you with this, that's basically what he did. It wasn't up until I actually said something. It wasn't until I actually said something that he decided to add the Xbox originals to it, mind you. So his list was actually very, as he put, fabricated to begin with. But we're going to get to that list in a minute, so just hold on. Now, first of all, let's go over something that we already did. Now, basically, I got this video that he did on me. Basically, someone said, hey, are you still going at it with Louis? And I said, no. Why? Because he made a video about you saying that you guys are going at it, about the PlayStation 1 classic game and the PlayStation Network games, what I just told you about. Now, this is how you know someone's irrelevant, because they need to rehash something that happened over a month and a half ago. That's how you know they're irrelevant, man. They're so irrelevant that they need attention. So I was like, hey, let's give it to him. But let's give it to him in my way. So he wanted attention, so I went ahead. So as you see, he has a little thing here that says, Faggot Zephyrnix has already taken the bait. It's easy. Now, he's of course talking about the video being the bait. But here's the thing, buddy. I never watched the video. Oh, is that an excuse? Well, if you actually look down here, 11 hours ago, I said the same thing. Honestly, dude, I didn't even watch the videos, so I have no idea what it's about. So no, I didn't watch your video. You know why? Because you're irrelevant. But let me show you guys something. This is actually pretty interesting. Now, mind you, there's a lot of other people here who are not agreeing with him, but whatever, we're going to talk about me. So I said, who set the standards? Sony did. I just said that. You know why I said that? Because I knew him. I know he's going to say the same exact thing over and over again. He's been saying that same line over and over again. Check his other videos. MLD, you don't set the standards. Zephyrnix, you don't set the standards. No, Sony set the standards for what their games count under. And they put PlayStation classics or PlayStation 1 classics. That's the reason why. But I tell you what, we're not even going to talk about that. First we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about that list. You guys are going to like this list. So I put, anyway, you're still on my nuts about this? I haven't even made a video and a comment about you on this subject. Mostly because I think you're not really worth taking seriously. And you're still crying over the same shit that was done about 2 or 3 months ago? Why? His reply was this. I clearly remember you blocking me from your other account, buddy. So that's why this video was done 1.5 months later, guys. Still riding my nuts. Because I blocked him. That's how you know you own someone. You need another example? He says right here, all I was doing was fucking with your argument and you couldn't even take it. I said, couldn't take it, please. I already proved my point. But then you started spamming my page. You need, when you start spamming my page, you need a correction. That simple. Your points were normally invalid. Hell, even Sony made you look like a fool. So, what was it that you couldn't take? So then he says that same line that he was saying again. He says this line, if you notice, he said in his video, in his comments, hook, line, and sinker. I've told you time and time again, fag. That's, hold on. And all I was doing was fucking with your logic, and you never knew I was doing it. Well, here's the thing about this. Before I even get into that part, here's the thing. If you gotta call me a name, if you gotta call me out my name, that's how you know that you've been owned. If by any reason you need to call me out my name or call someone out their name, you've automatically admitted defeat. But we're gonna keep going. This was his reply, and I quote. Oh, excuse me, this was my reply. which is why most of us deem you irrelevant, because you can't even lose gracefully. How could you be fucking with my logic when it wasn't my logic to begin with? I simply placed on the stage what Sony provided. And even then, the whole PlayStation 1 counts as PlayStation Network games was your logic. So your whole I was fucking with your logic was the statement was flawed. Basically, I just kept making you look like a fool. So try another excuse. His reply was, shut up, Zeffy, and block me. Cute, right? So here's the thing. Now, before we get to that, I want to go ahead and play this for you guys real quick. I want to show you this video here.
So again, here's the PlayStation 3 list.
Now, for those who don't know, in the interest of time, I'm just going to explain to you real fast. What he's doing is he's showing his list on why he believes that PlayStation 1 classic games should be qualified under PlayStation 3, thus adding them together, thus making them more than the Xbox 360, right? Now, mind you that it actually took... Hold on a second.
It can be played on the console. Remember the first and the PlayStation.
Okay, he didn't do it here. Now, this is basically what happened. Now, here's the thing. He decided that, if you notice this list, right, it's 475, right? Now, the reason why it's 475 versus 392 is because he didn't want to count Xbox Live or original titles. He did not want to count them. But, whatever. So, this is what we're going to do. Instead of trying to prove how his list is wrong, let's prove how his list is right. You know? We've already owned him. We've already destroyed Louis in terms of how his list was wrong, how Sony made him look like a fool, how his own site that he's using, Metacritic, this is Metacritic by the way, proved him as a fool, how everyone has proved him as a fool already. So let's go ahead and use his logic, let's use his own logic against him. Let's say his list is correct, okay? So what I did was, this is Metacritic, how it looks now. Now what I did was I took the liberty of actually counting how many titles are now, you know, up to this day, how many titles are available as A, AA, and AAA titles, because that was what the list was about. Remember that? So this is what I got. 493 Xbox 360, 359 PlayStation 3. Now, of course, he wanted to add the PlayStation 1 Classics, so that brings the PlayStation 3 up to 636. But here's the thing. Since you want to, since in his own words, he's saying that backwards compatibility and all that is the same, right? Now, here's something else I noticed. If you notice something, he didn't really mathematically take out certain games that are either available both on the Xbox, on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 2, such as like what was it called? God of War, right? So all of backwards compatibility counts. He never mentioned anything like that. So with that in mind, let's look at it. Now, first of all, we're just going to count for just easiness. We're going to count games on demand. Now, I took the liberty of taking out these top 4 games because these top games doesn't really qualify as games. You know, they're more hubs. So, when I did the math, it looks like I had 159 games, which came up to 652 games. So, by doing your list, it still came out higher. Now, here's another funny thing. Now, I know you guys notice how you have Fable 2, Dead Rising, Halo 3. Well, definitely, these are Xbox 360 games. So, aren't you counting them twice? Well, yes, actually, I am counting them twice. You know why? Because if you guys don't know, the digital SKU and the physical SKU are 2 different things, which means that you can count both of them here. That's right, you can count both of them here. So, if you count both of them, that means that you can put them here. That's simple. After all, Louis just said which you can play. So I can play both the digital version and the physical version. I'm just saying. So, like I said, we're just trying to prove him right. Now, we could keep going, Louis, if you want to. I mean, we can count. I mean, if we're going to keep going, we can also add the list of original Xbox games. Since you already added your physical copies, I can add the physical copies of the original Xbox games. You know. Now, mind you this, before I continue, before anyone decides to say something, Louis could have actually did this. He could have actually counted the PlayStation 1 Classics game that's located on PlayStation Network, but that's not what he did. He actually counted all the PlayStation games that are located on, that can be played under a physical copy. So, I just add the ones that can be played on a digital copy. That's simple. You know? Now, you can go ahead, dude, if you want to, you can add the digital copies of the PlayStation Network games, PlayStation 1 classics rather, but then I would have to add the physical copies of the Xbox originals. Okay? Just letting you know. All this. I would have to add all those. Not to mention, all of these games from GameRule also qualify as AAA and AAA. Why? Because when they were released, all these games were AAA and AAA titles. So we can keep going if you want to. It's fun. We can keep going too. So how about, basically, dude, you're so easy. I decided to work against your list, right? And I've totally owned you. But then you decided to rehash it. So I said, okay, well, let's look at it differently. Let's go ahead and say that your list is right. Well, that means that every game that can be played should be added, right? Well, that means yes, according to you, if it's playable, it is. So, like I said before, Fable 2, the physical copy, and Fable 2, the digital copy, are two different things. Now, of course, if you really want to, we can also add the platinum versions and the greatest hits from PlayStation 3, because they also qualify as different SKUs. But to be honest with you, dude, I'm just being honest with you. Xbox 360 gets more platinum hits than the other system does. I'm just letting you know. So no matter how you look at it, it's going to become more on the Xbox 360 than the PlayStation 3. Now, my own thoughts on this subject. It's stupid. My thoughts have not changed on this subject. You know, they haven't. They really haven't. But I'm just saying. I'm just trying to show you how it is, dude. That you were that easy, man. You might as well just go ahead and just call it a day, dude. Delete your account. You always want to sit there and try to hang with the big boys. You want to hang with me. You want to hang with Seventh. You want to hang with Shokyo. Which is funny, too, because you tried to even say it in the other video, too. You was like, in the comments, you was like, well, Shokyo even thinks so. And then Shokyo, right around the corner, Shokyo turned around and made a video saying, actually, no, PlayStation 1 classic games should not count. Even he owns you. You're pathetic, dude. Peace, bitches. I'm out.